When you really look at it, we are without a doubt the most successful species on this planet. Our ingenuity has let us completely dominate the globe. But what if that exact same cleverness is now our biggest threat? Today, we're going to unpack humanity's core dilemma, how our greatest strength might have become our biggest problem. So, why are we the most successful species? It's a real puzzle, right? I mean, we're not the strongest, we're not the fastest. So, how did a species with, let's be honest, pretty few physical advantages end up running a world of creatures that could easily overpower us? I mean, think about a tiger. It's just a masterpiece of speed and power, way faster than any person. And yet, somehow, it's the human who ends up catching the tiger, not the other way around. How does that work? Or hey, what about the elephant, a creature of just immense strength? But we figured out how to trap it. And in what's got to be the ultimate example of our unique advantage, we even use trained elephants to help capture wild ones. We literally turn their own strength against them. It's brain over brawn every single time. So what's the difference? What really sets us apart? Well, for almost every other species, survival is all about instinct. It's this fixed pattern of knowledge that gets passed down from mother to child, from the herd, generation after generation. It works, for sure, but it's a cycle that pretty much never changes. But humans? We're different. We completely broke that cycle. We operate on a whole other level. We didn't just figure out how to survive in our environment, we figured out how to become its masters. And this, right here, is the absolute game changer. Other animals adapt to the world they're in. We adapt the world to us. We don't just go looking for shelter, we build massive cities. We don't just find food, we create these incredible global systems to deliver it literally anywhere we decide to live. So how do we pull this off? Well, according to the source material, it boils down to this really powerful three-step process. First, we use our minds to tackle a problem. Second, we invent solutions, and then we build systems or institutions around them. And finally, and this is the really crucial part, we build on that knowledge, generation after generation, so each one can start way ahead of the last. And just look around you. The results are everywhere. We've built these massive educational systems just to pass on what we know, hospitals to keep us healthy, huge energy grids to power everything, and these unbelievably complex supply chains that can bring a piece of fruit from the other side of the world right to your kitchen. None of this is natural. We made it all up. It's like a snowball effect, right? This compounding of knowledge just leads to this incredible acceleration. Simple tools lead to stronger walls, which eventually lead to skyscrapers. Little boats evolve into giant container ships. And with every single step, the pace of change just gets faster and faster. So our ingenuity created all this incredible prosperity. But, and this is a huge but, the story takes a really sharp turn here. The very same engine that built our amazing world is now putting it in serious danger. You see, for most of our history, our inventions and our impact were pretty localized. We worked in a sort of relative harmony with nature. But as our power grew and grew and grew, that balance just completely shifted. Our whole relationship with the planet fundamentally changed. It's like our success is this classic double-edged sword. The promise was prosperity for everyone, but the price we've paid is massive inequality. We got this unprecedented progress, but it came hand in hand with just devastating pollution. So where did we go off the rails? The source material argues it was a fundamental shift in why we were innovating. We went from innovating to help the group survive to accumulating stuff for individual gain. This drive to get more for ourselves, for our own families, for our tribe, it became the main motivation, even if it came at the expense of everyone and everything else. And all of this, it's led us to this really weird and kind of scary place. We've built a system that's so enormous and so complex that now we feel totally trapped inside of it. You don't have to look far to see the consequences, right? They're everywhere. Our environment is polluted. We've got a culture that's just obsessed with wanting more and more and more, way beyond what we actually need. And that basic, fundamental idea of making sure everyone has enough, it's been almost totally forgotten. Our greed, as the source puts it, has basically consumed the planet. And this is the crazy part. This is the central paradox of our time. We have all the data, we can see the effects with our own eyes, we know exactly what's wrong, and yet, as a whole, we seem completely unable to stop it. And that's the trap, isn't it? We're all participants. So many of us work for companies that are part of the problem, just to make a living. We drive cars that pollute just to get to that job. We're caught up in the day-to-day of the very system we know needs to change. So naturally, you start to feel helpless. You look at this massive global problem and it's so easy to feel small and think, what can I possibly do? Can one person, can this human really change anything at all? Well, according to the source material, the answer is a resounding yes.
The idea here isn't to try and fix the entire global system all at once. That's impossible. Instead, the solution starts by focusing on the one thing that each of us has direct, daily, total control over.
Let's be real. We don't control the global economy. We don't control the huge systems we live in. But there is one thing we control completely, every single day: how we spend our money. And this is what the source material calls wise spending. And it's not about being cheap or even necessarily spending less. It's about making a conscious choice to use your money to support things that are building the kind of world you actually want to live in, a better, healthier world for our kids. You know the number one excuse we all use for not doing anything, right? I'll start as soon as everyone else does. We wait for the system to change. But the source challenges us to completely flip that script. Instead of pointing the finger out there, we're asked to turn the question inward. And that's the question we're left with. It's so simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Our own ingenuity got us into this mess. So maybe that same ingenuity, applied one personal choice at a time, is the only thing that can get us out. So really, ask yourself, what is stopping me?